Hi everyone, it's Lisa Moeller with MedMark Media, and welcome to another edition of DocTalk Dental. Our special guest today is Dr. Alfred Griffin III from LightForce Orthodontics. Dr. Griffin is a second-generation orthodontist and a third-generation dentist from Virginia and is the founder and CEO of LightForce Orthodontics. He has a Master's of Medical Sciences and a certificate in orthodontics from the Harvard School of Dental Medicine and his DMD PhD from the Medical University of South Carolina. His bracket and basic science research has been published in multiple peer-reviewed journals, and he has been leading a world-class team to develop and commercialize the world's first fully customized brackets. Welcome, Dr. Griffin.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you for joining us on DocTalk Dental.
Happy to be here.
Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Welcome to sunny, very hot Arizona in August.
Yeah, it's rough out there, pretty brutal.
It is.
I think I need a few more days to adapt to the climate, but better than Boston winters. So.
Right. Yeah, you guys have those, and we have this heat. So
yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us and coming all this way.
Of course, happy to be here. Yeah.
So congratulations on your success with LightForce. This is amazing.
Thank you.
Tell us, how did you get into orthodontics in the first place? I know that you're a third generation and that you come from a family of orthodontists. So
yeah.
tell our audience about that.
Yeah. So my dad's an orthodontist. My mom's a dentist. They met in dental school.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather was a dentist, and I grew up in my dad's orthodontic practice, assisting, making Hawley retainers, Essex retainers up in the lab, and you can imagine how exciting our family dinner conversation was. We talked about the latest dental problem.
Yes.
The latest issues in the
Everything
practice.
ortho. Yeah.
Everything ortho, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So
Fun.
Kind of grew up with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Not many doctors can say that, actually. So third generation. There's a lot of second generations out there.
Exactly.
So tell us about your extensive ortho background and like how you got started and how you formed LightForce.
Sure. Well, it started out of a realization that there was a problem. There was a inefficiency in practices, and I didn't have to wait to get to dental school or ortho to see it. I mean, growing up in my dad's practice, we'd be bending wires, or he would be bending wires, repositioning brackets, and I always asked, why do you do these things? You already had the bracket on the tooth, and
right.
he would say that's because we needed to change. We have a one-size-fits-all bracket, and we need to bend wire and reposition brackets to match a one-size-fits-all bracket to a very unique patient with different jaw sizes and tooth morphologies.
Right. So, I mean, obviously it benefited you growing up in the whole ortho space.
I was very lucky, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us about, I mean, we are graced to be in the presence of a Harvard graduate here. So, I mean, that's awesome. So tell us about your background with school and Harvard and all of that.
Okay, so I did a DMD PhD, and that was my attempt at being different than my parents.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a scientist, and
right.
My goal in going to Harvard was to do a basic science project and develop a recombinant protein that could move teeth faster, and quickly had to pivot when that project was not funded by the government. So we looked at other problems in the industry that I could tackle, and customizing brackets seemed like a great fit. Problem was that I would say for a while there wasn't a technology that would enable that.
Mm-hmm.
Today most brackets are made via injection molding, and it's too expensive to customize brackets that way.
Right.
There are issues with milling as well, and then even in 3D printing, there are limitations with the materials that you can use. And so it took a while, a lot of experimenting and feasibility studies to get to where we were.
3D printed brackets.
Yeah. If you're an orthodontist, it's a pretty obvious solution, and other people have been trying to do this a long time ago. Mm-hmm. The first Andrew's prescription, the straight wire system, was an attempt at getting closer to something more customized, and then every evolution of new prescriptions was a better attempt at that straight wire approach. Mm-hmm. And we've been trying to customize braces for a while. There have been many attempts at partial customization. yes, we're the first to fully customize it. And it's just really a matter of execution and merging technology and making it actually happen.
Right. So tell us a little bit about your journey with Dr. Lou Schumann, because he'll kill me if I don't mention his name and being involved, because we're both friends of his. And,
totally, yeah.
And he's a great orthodontist, as you guys all know. And
sure.
So how did you guys get together?
Well, when I first kicked this off, we were at the Harvard Innovation Lab, which is like an accelerator that I was lucky to be part of. And they told me, Alfred, you're science, you're an orthodontist, but you don't know a lick about business. And they were not wrong. So I started calling people from the industry, people that were perceived as experts and knowledgeable. And Lou is the only orthodontist who I called. And when I told him what the problem we were trying to solve was, it meant something to him because he practiced orthodontics before.
Right.
So he
could relate.
He remembers having to bend wire and things like that. And,
right.
And it's a total buzzword to say, yeah, we're 3D printing brackets, but when I tell orthodontists, it's like, all right, they don't care about the buzzword, the fact that we're 3D printing it. It's the why. Why would you 3D print a bracket? And the value is in the custom base, the custom prescription, and getting a patient from a malocclusion to a final finished case as efficiently as possible.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of time savings is there for the doctor and ultimately the patient?
Sure. So we have a rule in our company where we don't ever say we're going to finish cases faster. If you're an orthodontist and you understand biomechanics, that's something that you should pick up on pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. Personally, I've seen time reductions. Anecdotally, we've seen cases finish 6 to 8 months faster, depending on how long docs spend on finishing, repositioning brackets and finishing the case. We try to be very data-driven.
So what you're saying basically is that one prescription does not fit all, obviously, in orthodontics. So same would apply for the brackets.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So I know this is probably an obvious question, but why digital?
Why digital? Yeah. So digital is fantastic, and we've had digital clear aligners for a while, and orthodontists often say, I can finish better with a clear aligner than in brackets. And in many cases, they're not wrong. I would actually agree with them because you have digital tools. You can actually, I'm going to pull out my orthodontic hands now, but you can actually line up the teeth very well, derotate them, overcompensate certain things. You can look at occlusion, and you can see how the puzzle should come together, looking at how much IPR should be done where. That's filing between the teeth, interproximal reduction. And,
right.
And we don't have a great tool for that in brackets. You can't go from a digital plan and then say, turn this into a reality. Give me a tooth moving tool that can give me this.
So what would be the major reason for brackets versus aligners?
So I think the two are actually complementary. They're both great tooth moving tools for certain cases, and I love clear aligners. I use a ton of them in my practice.
I just finished Invisalign.
Oh, nice job.
Thanks.
So I would say braces is probably better at vertical control, and obviously there's a wire that has to go across, but also for mixed dentition cases, certain teeth that need more of a biomechanical force to them, and different cases require different tools. So today, about 85% of cases are treated with brackets and wires, and about 15% are treated with clear aligners. And I think that's a reflection of the biomechanics involved, and also compliance. You got to know your patient.
Right, definitely. Yeah. I don't think brackets are going anywhere.
No, we don't think so either.
So what sets you guys apart from some of the bigger orthodontic companies?
Yeah, so we are a small company. We're 23 people.
You guys have grown tremendously.
We have grown
recently, right? So you
totally.
Started out with like 4 or 5, and
yeah, last year we were about 4 or 5, and we've just spent a lot of time recruiting the last year and getting the best people from the industry we could. We've hired experts from the CAD world, guys who have experience at companies like Onshape and Stratasys, and people from the digital dental world as well.
I can't even imagine where we're going to be in 10, 15 years from now with everything that's out currently.
Totally. There are a lot of technologies that are coming out that I think have a great home in dentistry and in orthodontics specifically as well.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the economics and overhead for the docs.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about how that works with your product.
Yeah, so we're not the first company to come out and say if you can treat a case more efficiently, you can save money in your practice. There have been a lot of companies making that argument, from clear aligners to different partially customized bracket technologies, custom wire technologies, and there's a cost to seeing a patient. If you see a patient, it costs the practice and overhead about $250. So if we can reduce the overall number of appointments, the doc should save money, and you should have a happy patient because they're finished faster.
Right.
And with the digital tools, ideally, you get a better finish as well. So
everyone's happy.
Everyone's happy.
It's a win-win. That's
Win-win.
awesome.
Yep.
So what would be your overall vision for the profession of orthodontics? I mean, you've been doing this a while, and you come from a long line of orthos. Where do you see it headed?
The world is going to be digital. I'm not the first to say that. Everyone's in agreement. We envision a world where all treatment is digital, where you have clear aligners, you have brackets that are all generated from an intraoral scan. We've already seen a huge reduction in alginate and PVS impressions. Everyone's scanning now. Clear aligners have taken off. People have really adopted digital technology, digital treatment planning,
yes, for sure.
And now you can do it with braces as well. So we think the world is going digital, and we foresee, maybe not over the next 5 years, but in the future, replacing all stock bracket inventory with custom bracket inventory, whether it's LightForce or another company.
Right. Do you currently have any competitors out there, or are you guys pretty much the only ones in this space?
So we're the only group in the orthodontic space to make a fully customized bracket.
Yeah.
We can make a customized base and give a true straight wire appliance. That enables many biomechanical advantages. When we look at very hot topic in the space right now is creating an ideal smile arc. We can intrude and extrude incisors while preserving tooth torque. That's something that no other appliance can do. We have a custom base that allows you to put brackets anywhere on the labial surface of the tooth, so you don't have to put brackets on facial access point anymore. That's our target for, we're taught in residency to put brackets on the middle of the tooth essentially.
Right.
You can bond brackets more mesally, distally, occlusally, gingivally, and get an ideal prescription regardless of where you want to put the bracket.
Right.
Yep.
So how many patents does your company hold for this? I mean, that's just me being an entrepreneur that I am. I mean, I think it's amazing what you guys have done, and the back end work for all of this is.
I appreciate that, Lisa. Yeah. So I think we're at 5 or 6 now total. One has been granted. Our core one was granted in March.
Right.
But we're continuing to, as you have to. You got to keep writing the patents to stay current.
And you have to innovate.
Got to innovate.
You're doing exactly what it takes to build and grow a business, and I mean you have to innovate or you're dead. So you guys definitely have it down. When I heard about this, when Lou came to me with this, I was like, wow. Yeah. So impressed. So impressed. So you have been recently named to the Harvard Orthodontics School as a lecturer and in developmental biology. Tell us that. Congratulations, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sorry. I don't talk to many Harvard doctors, so I'm very impressed with that. And it's such an honor that you're still continuing to be on the board and work there, and that's
There
amazing.
are many fantastic dental schools and orthodontic programs out there. We think we have a good one as well. It's a very special group over there. We have excellent residents, and happy to lecture those guys. Love talking about biomechanics. It's a passion. I'm just glad they show up and listen to me. So,
please, yeah, that's awesome. So, tell us about it with everything you're doing in your practice and with LightForce. I mean, tell us about your personal life. We hear there's a baby on the way.
Yeah. So
and you just got married recently, right?
I did. I got married in Rome about 2 years ago, and we have a baby girl coming in a month.
Congratulations! In a month.
In a month,
oh
yeah.
my gosh, congratulations.
So we're busy on all fronts. They say there's never a good time, but I'm very excited. So.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. So what else do you like to do in your spare time besides science?
I like to.
Besides science.
I like to play basketball. I know you just had Shaq on the program recently, and I was actually hoping that you would ask me about my basketball career.
I know that you have skills.
No,
I've heard. So let's hear about your basketball.
Well, we did happen to win the Harvard intramural basketball league 2 years in a row.
That's incredible.
I have the T-shirt to
2
prove
years
it.
in a row.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Congrats.
Thank you.
That's very cool. So will you and your wife be having more children, or you're going to wait for this first one and then figure it out, or do you guys want to have like 10 kids?
I don't think 10's
no,
in the
not
cards, but I think there's probably at least one more coming. So we'll see.
Well, you're a busy guy, and kudos to you for everything that you've done and with LightForce and accomplished in our industry. And I know that your core team that started with Dr. Schumann and your other partners, I mean, they're amazingly talented people.
We have a great group. I will tell you that it has been a complete privilege of mine to be working with the team we have back in Cambridge. You hear the phrase, it takes a village. This is a prime example of that. People from all different disciplines, from different types of industry, engineering, hardware, software, manufacturing, and then the orthodontists that are involved. I mean, we have guys with a ton of experience. I've been an orthodontist for almost 3 years now, and we've got guys like Lou, who's been practicing forever. I'm grateful, very lucky to have my dad involved. He's got a ton of experience. I won't say how many years, but and then
we don't want to date him.
Don't want to date him. And then there are a ton of excellent faculty at Harvard and other places in the area that have helped support this and develop it. And that's a key component of our culture at LightForce. Is we want to be the best orthodontic company at listening to orthodontists. We see orthodontists as our customer, and there have been many examples already of us getting input from our users and reacting to it very quickly. That's one of the benefits of digital manufacturing and this whole fourth industrial revolution thing you hear about, of which digital manufacturing is part of. You can react quickly and change your product without having to make new molds and go back to casting and older techniques. You can have a CAD technician or engineer change some things, do some testing rapidly, and then push a new product into production, assuming that all the ISO standard testing is done to satisfy the FDA. So an example of that is we've changed the chamfers on the brackets, we've made them smoother, we've added optional hooks on 3s, 4s, and 5s, different teeth. Depending on the patient, and we have a lot of exciting features to be released that are on the product roadmap. All driven by customer feedback. So we want to be the best orthodontic company at listening to orthodontists.
So what would be the benefits of having a company that's run by orthodontists? I mean, there's some obvious benefits, of course, right?
So the benefits of having a company run by orthodontists is that we feel like we're more in tune with the user experience and what it should be than other companies that aren't led by orthodontists.
Right.
We see the user experience as the hardware, the software, and the logistics. The software is are the buttons in the right position? Do I have all the diagnostic tools I would use to set up a case? On the hardware side, it's the bracket. Does it have a low coefficient of friction? Is it smooth and rounded edges? Is it accurate? Am I realizing the value of customization here? And then from the logistics side, it's the workflow of the practice and practice integration. Do you get the cases on time? When you're communicating with your technician, are you getting a quick response, quick feedback? Is it good feedback?
Right.
We pride ourselves on having everyone in the company know orthodontics or Ortho 101.
Well, you guys are in the trenches.
We are.
So you know what is needed to make the ortho's life easier.
Yeah, the devil's in the details. There's nothing worse than having a technician set up a case that is wildly different than what you wanted.
Right.
So we focus on quick turnaround time. when a doctor hits accepts, or we begin manufacturing immediately, and then we ship that case 7 to 10 business days after they hit accept. So we feel like we understand how a practice should work, and we believe that it's not just beneficial for the doctor and the patient, but also for the staff as well. Based on having the customized base, we've seen, and again, this is to be proven by data, but we've seen fewer debonds. And that's a result of having a custom base with a very precise cement space between bracket and tooth. Anywhere you position the bracket, you're going to have the exact same cement space between the bracket and tooth. So we've seen fewer debonds as a result. Fewer wire bends as well due to the straight wire appliance. And it has been wildly popular with the patients.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what is their opinion on a 3D printed bracket? I mean, what's their opinion? Do they care?
They do, and a lot of our patients are adolescents, and the parents are really the ones who care. It's actually, our product's turned into a patient conversion tool for a lot of orthodontists, because a lot of our customers are saying, this bracket system is made 100% for your child's smile and your child's jaws and everything like that. Your child's unique, their smile is unique, and we're using a unique device to get them to that signature smile.
Right.
Whereas the guy down the street is using a one-size-fits-all approach. Now they can still do a good job with that one-size-fits-all approach, it just may take them a little longer.
Right. We're living in a digital world, I mean, let's face it. And what you're doing is amazing for our profession, and the buzz has been incredible. And since we're in a digital world, I mean, word travels fast, right? I mean, it gets out there, and I know that the doctors I've talked to are like, wow, this is incredible. So
thanks. I mean, we benefit from being pretty cutting edge in 2 different industries. So obviously there's a big benefit in orthodontics. We hope to help orthodontists do the best job that they can do. I always say we're not going to make a bad orthodontist a good orthodontist. We're going to make a good orthodontist a better orthodontist by giving them an extra tool to do the best job they can.
Right.
So there's the orthodontic industry, but then there's also the 3D printing industry. The 3D printing industry is looking for a champion of 3D printing used in manufacturing. So 3D printing was first used in scale with Invisalign, making clear aligners. Obviously, the clear aligners weren't the end-use part. They were just, the 3D printed molds were a part of that manufacturing process. We're one of the first companies that is scaling an end-use 3D printed part. So the part we 3D print is the bracket. That's the functional device.
Right.
That's a rare thing, and the 3D printing industry doesn't want to be known as a prototyping industry. They want to be recognized as a form of advanced manufacturing.
Right.
And so for a lot of industry gurus from that world, we're a pretty big deal as well. So
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet they were pretty impressed. So you guys were all the buzz this year at the AAO. It's all anyone was talking about, LightForce Ortho. And where are you headed next? I mean, that was obviously an amazing launch.
Yeah, AAO was a blast. We had a lot of incredible conversations with orthodontists and people from the industry as well. And my only regret is that we couldn't sell cases to everybody.
Right.
So one of our big challenges has been making more cases, and I'm very excited to say that we've opened up the floodgates, so to speak, so we're taking in new orders. And the next stop for us is the New England Society of Orthodontics meeting in Boston. So back on our home turf.
Oh, and, awesome. When is that?
That is in late September.
Late September?
Late September, and we'll be speaking there, we'll have a booth there, and we'll be doing some very exciting product releases there as well. So we're looking forward to that event. Yep.
Well, if you guys didn't get a custom publication that we put together for LightForce at the AAO, we can always send you one, because it's packed with amazing information on the company, and this was a huge hit as well at the AAO. So
we had a good publisher.
Thank you. Well, I try. So yeah, and then they can also find you at lightforceortho.com.
Yep.
And again, medmarkmedia.com. If anyone wants information on LightForce, we can point you in the right direction as well. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks so much, Lisa.
This was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to have you.
Yep.
You'll come back and give us the rest of the scoop on everything, right? When it happens.
In the winter.
In the winter.
Yes, in the winter.
I promise. Okay. No more August. Okay. Thanks so much. It was great chatting with you.
Thanks, Lisa. It was a blast.
Take care.
Yep.
So that's going to do it for another edition of DocTalk Dental. I'd like to thank our very special guests today, Dr. Alfred Griffin and LightForce Ortho, for your contributions to the profession. For more information on this amazing company, please go to lightforceortho.com. And as always, for more info on everything ortho, please visit our website, orthopracticeus.com, and subscribe today. We'll see you back here on DocTalk Dental again soon. Until then, take care, everyone.